One day after years, like maybe 2 or 3 years later, he walked in and asked me, he said, "Hey, do you like what you're doing?"
What skills did you use that helped you?
That's the $1 million question. And yeah, and
you don't know why you're great?
Usually customers say, "This is my door, it's broken, doesn't work right, et cetera, et cetera." And I'm like, okay, what, aside from just a direct replacement, what do we want it to do? What's the end goal?
What makes you passionate about it?
I would probably say that they don't take the time to really understand what the industry is.
Unless you do overhead doors.
Unless you do overhead. Overhead's a whole nother ball game, yeah.
What is something that people don't understand about the role? So welcome to our first episode of ASAP Unfiltered. We're really excited and we may be a little bit nervous, so just hang in there with us. Today I am joined by Larson. Larson is on the ASAP team. He's been here for about 1.5 years, which it seems a lot longer, but that's just because he is part of the family, totally ingrained in our culture here. Larson has been in the commercial door industry for over a decade now, and he's going to elaborate on that a lot more. But he started as a technician, worked his way up to sales. In 2025 was our top sales rep across all locations. So Larson really is just a wealth of knowledge, and I'm really excited for him to share some stuff with you. So
I'm excited too.
Thanks for joining us, Larson. Can you tell us a little bit how you got into the door industry, as usually that's not something someone sets out to be when they are in kindergarten, you know? So how did that happen?
By pure happen chance. I mean, I used to manage the Jiffy Lube down the street here in Mooresville, and one of my customers was Chris Peterson of Piedmont Door, and he would come in there and talk to me every so often. He actually went to high school with one of my brothers. I have 2 older brothers that went to high school in the 80s. So, but anyway, one day after years, like maybe 2 or 3 years later, he walked in and asked me, he said, "Hey, do you like what you're doing?" And I was like, I can always do something else. And from that moment forward, I started and haven't looked back. It's been great. And that was June of 2012.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started as a technician?
Correct. Yeah, okay. I started as a technician and spent 9 years in total in the field, actually doing all the installs with the hardware, specializing in automatics and integrating the systems such as maglocks and all the fancy stuff.
Okay, awesome. So being a technician for that long, what is something that people don't understand about the role from the outside?
That's a good question. Looking at it from a trade perspective, people probably wouldn't realize how easy it is. Maybe easy might not be the right word, but it is pretty simple work. And it's clean work. You don't go home dirty, and it's not typically back-breaking work, so you're not sore or killing yourself trying to do it.
Unless you do overhead doors.
Unless you do overhead. Overhead's a whole nother ball game, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's probably the biggest misconception of it.
So it's easier than people would think.
Correct.
For the trades.
So. Yeah, from my perspective.
Yeah, okay. So what separates an average technician from a great technician? For me,
that's somebody that wants to understand what something is doing or what it's not doing and why, and not just get fed up with it and say, this is wrong, or I can't do it, send somebody else. Guys that want to actually learn the trade and understand what a product does, why it does that, and how we can better it.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that great technicians take their time outside of the field work to learn product knowledge?
I don't necessarily think that it has to be done outside of the field, but I think most guys are curious enough to want to look into certain things. Like maybe I saw something in the field at one point in time, was a little like, okay, I got it done, but maybe I didn't understand it fully, so I'll do a little research on it and get a little bit better understanding. But I don't know if that necessarily is what sets them apart. It certainly helps. But yeah, I mean, that's for sure.
Okay. So transferring into sales, what skills transferred with you from being a technician going into sales as opposed to coming in as a new sales rep? What skills did you use that helped you?
So for me, it was because in my time as a technician, I spent a lot of time customer facing, dealing with them directly and understanding what their pain points are, what they see from a day-to-day, what that facility needs from a day-to-day, what issues they're having with their doors, what's most likely to happen to it. So that kind of gives me a little bit of a leg up because when I know the person or know the facility or know exactly what kind of issues they're running into, to be able to provide a better quote that fits this certain scenario directly.
Now, this is a good one, and I want you to answer honestly.
Okay.
What mistakes do you see that new sales reps make?
New sales reps, so if it's someone that's coming from outside of the industry, I would probably say that they don't take the time to really understand what the industry is or what certain products are or why we offer what we do and how it fits to one facility versus another. That does come with time, but I think a lot of them will get overwhelmed with just how much variety there is in this industry, and then maybe just kind of not dive into it head first and try and wrap their head around it completely and just let it trickle down, and I don't think that works.
Okay. Aside from the technical side, from like a personal side or, kind of like the EQ, you're great with customers. I'll say that. And I don't have that charismatic energy. That's why I'm not a salesperson. However, like I hear that in you and I see that in you. So from that side of sales, where do you see people, that are not as successful? What are they doing wrong when it comes to connecting with customers? That's
the $1 million question. And yeah, I mean,
you don't know why you're great?
I don't know how to really answer that one. I guess it really just boils down to the personality. I really don't know what I would do versus what somebody else does. I mean, a lot of it's got to do with confidence, but my confidence comes from spending those 9 years in the field, knowing the product, and you can't just have that in everybody. So, I don't know. That's a good question. I'll have to think a little bit more on that.
Come back to us if you have an answer on that. Okay. From your perspective, what do customers care about most? Do they care about the price most?
So every customer is a little different. That's been the thing that I've probably learned the most about it. Right off the bat, you'd think most customers I want the best product for the best price, but some of them just want as cheap as they can possibly get to where it functions. And some of them they don't really care about the price. They want to make sure that they're being taken care of by the company, the sales rep, the technician. You want to have the confidence that we can get the job done correctly. And then there's other guys that just have an infinite budget and they don't care. They want the absolute best. And that you have to get that from your interaction with the customer to figure out what they need, what they want, what they're expecting.
Right. So understanding, that comes from just connecting with the customer.
Correct.
And understanding what their pain points are.
Exactly.
From the beginning. And I think a lot of people maybe miss that because they want to get straight to the technical side of it.
Correct.
But you have to connect with the customer first.
Yeah, they'll read like, okay, I've got a lead to go replace a door. I'm meeting with Bob. He wants a new door. Okay, Bob, I'm going to get you a price for a new door. And then that's the end of it. Yeah. And it needs to be, more. What do you want this to do?
When you show up, for example, I don't want to get you to give away all your tricks, but when you show up to a job site or, a sales call, how do you build rapport when you get there?
The first thing I do is we're not even here to talk about the door just yet. How are you? What have you been up to? How's life? Everything going? How's work been? You guys stay busy. We've been busy. And then we'll dive into the door. They'll usually customers say, this is my door, it's broken, doesn't work right, et cetera, et cetera. And okay, aside from just a direct replacement, what do we want it to do? What's the end goal? What's an issue that you're having with it outside of it being broken? And just kind of break that down and figure out where I fit into that.
Okay. Yeah. So you've been in the industry for a long time.
Yeah.
What makes you passionate about it?
I love it. I really, ever since I got into it, it's just been my forward progression in the industry that keeps me passionate about it. And that's probably got something to do with it. I'm motivated by opportunity, and opportunity is always on the other side. So you have to push towards that. So that certainly helps, but there's so many, then again, my technical brain here, there's so many different products in the industry and so many different solutions for one problem. I like trying to rework those problems in my head and find it and figure it out and see what's there. And I think that's probably more or less what does it for me, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can really see and I meant to talk about this at the beginning, but like I can see your passion, and that's why I ask these questions. And it's not just with the sales or anything. It's when, you know, people need assistance or technical assistance, like you are excited to help. And and even though it's not your main role, it takes away from your ability to make sales, but you're happy to help with the technical side. If I need training in a meeting, you're helpful. When we went to go to a career fair and talk to thousands of middle school kids, like you were excited to show them how automated doors work. And like that passion, you know, that's obvious. So that's why I asked those questions. Yeah. Awesome. So this is my last question on here. So we went through this really quick, but from your perspective, what makes ASAP different? I know you've been with our competitors, other companies. What makes us different?
I think what makes ASAP different or sets us apart from other people is everybody here is on the same page. Everybody here has the same goal. Everybody's after the same target. It's the customer and the products and how we can better ourselves. And it's not just getting stuff out the door. Everybody here, at least within this office, is passionate about the industry. And I think that shows. And I think that's what helps. And I think that's why we're growing at a steady pace. And I think that's what drives everything forward. Is everybody's committed to the same goal, and it's not just bodies and seats performing tasks. It's everybody's on pace for the same goal. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And I think that's important too, like from a leadership perspective, just switching into leadership. That's why you have to let your company know what the vision is and the goals, right? Because I could easily be like, here's your checklist, here's your KPIs. But if you don't know why you're doing it or what the overall mission and vision is, then you don't understand why you're coming to work every day.
Correct.
So that's important. Yeah. Any last words for us, Larson? Any words of sales wisdom or tech wisdom you want to impart?
I don't know I don't really know what to drop on you here, but you know, I'm unprepared there, I guess.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I think we did our best.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're going to have you on again and start thinking about, you know, topics you want to talk about
definitely
with everybody. And
for sure.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
That's a wrap.
All right. Number 1.